First off, first things first, America, number one. But yes, as my co-host stated, this is our pilot episode. I am Mr. Magoo. I'm being joined by Shelly Shells,
Yes,
and
sir.
today is a special day for a multitude of reasons. One, go America in Olympics. Two, it's our first show, man. Come on, man. First impressions.
For
So we're gonna
sure.
do our best.
USA. 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 Shit. Man, I don't
um,
know. I watched that soccer game. They got blown the fuck out the stadium. That was pretty bad.
who's that? Men or women?
The US men's team, bro, they lost 0-3 to France.
Oh. Well, that's not
That was like 2 days
That's not
ago.
very hospitable of the Franks.
Bro, they want their money back from 1776, so they had to open up a can of whoop ass. They wanted that money back, bro.
Uh,
It was, and then nobody sent their A team, bro. Like this is all C list players, and they still opened up that can, and it was, I couldn't really watch the whole thing. I had to turn that shit off.
uh, yeah. 3-0 in soccer. That is a spanking. That's actually a lot of points. Yeah, we were definitely manhandled by the hosting nation.
Yeah,
But you know what? I feel like when it comes to soccer, it's definitely becoming more popular here in the States. Not so much with men's though. I feel like women definitely went much further when it comes to, football compared
well,
to
there's a big controversy with it right now because we getting blown the fuck up in every tournament, not making it out of the group stages no more. We send our best players abroad, right? We've got Pulisic over at where is he at? AC Milan. We've got a couple other dudes too, and what's happening is people are starting to realize that Europe is better because it's free to play.
what do you mean it's free to play?
They have academies in every country, and they do not charge for the talent. The talent eat, sleeps, and lives at the facility. They go to school.
Hmm.
And this is how they are producing better players than us. We put a $15,000 paywall between our players and actually learning right American style football. A lot of people don't know that.
Yeah, this is all new knowledge to me. So I'm
Yeah,
assuming we have the academies versus AAU, which causes about what 15,000 a season, something like that, give or take.
private school. We talking private school against
uh,
AAU.
oof.
Like that's the difference of like what we're seeing here. And we are at this stage now where the rest of the world is catching up in every sport, big dog. You know, basketball too. Baseball, we didn't win the World Baseball Classic.
When was the last time we have? Because I mean, I'm a little ignorant on this one. I'm assuming naturally what Japan and Cuba have been like wrecking shop, right?
Maybe '08. No, I think it
Wow,
was
wow,
'06 was the last time
wow,
we won it.
that long ago.
Long time ago.
Wow,
It's been a
and
minute. We do
shout outs to
not.
South Sudan.
I mean, they brought it to us in basketball. I mean, it's not hard to have a couple of players that come from one country go back to their home country and teach these fundamentals of the game. You can also learn it online. You can watch the game from everywhere now, so you can mimic the players. It's not hard to find the source material anymore for a lot of these guys, and they're playing for contracts. Team USA ain't playing for contracts. It's different. Hunger.
What do you mean they're playing for contracts? Like, are you trying to say like these Olympians from other countries are using the Olympics as a way of to gaining a contract in another professional league? I'm assuming, preferably an American league. Is that
If
what you're saying?
we talk in basketball
Yeah.
and you get one opportunity to showcase your talents on the world stage, let's just say you got a little bit more extra motivation than Kevin Durant or LeBron James or Steph Curry. Shit, homie on South Sudan. Well, let me look up his name real quick. He had a triple-double. Fucked around and got a triple-double. Almost hit the game-winning shot, too. I know it's an exhibition, but damn.
You talking about Buddy, who was the MVP of the G League, correct?
Yeah, wasn't it something Jones?
So I think it's like Eco or something.
Yeah, shout out to the Joneses, you know? Bro, he barely missed that game-winning shot. First off, Team USA was down 16.
Yeah, I heard that.
To a team that's existed for like 6 years. The country has only been around 11 or 12.
13
years. South Sudan, 13 years. And they took it to Team USA and lost by 1 in an exhibition where clearly Team USA started playing.
Well, that goes the old adage, you know, playing down to their competition, or is it just the rest of the world's catching up?
Man, the rest of the world is catching up because they want the monies. They want the monies. They want to get paid. They want a contract. They want the monies. They made a movie about this like 20 years ago. Some dude from Africa who was super tall, super lengthy. You remember that movie?
I remember that.
Yeah,
I was just about to lead up to that.
Dirt.
I was just about to lead up to that. I believe that movie was called The Air Up There. I used to love that movie growing up.
Air Up There.
And it was funny because I'm not sure how. Did you follow Gil? No Chill Gil?
Yeah. No Chill Gil, yeah.
Did you catch his take on South Sudan?
No, what did he say?
Oh, man, what didn't he say? What didn't he say? Yeah, actually, yeah, we'll do that. Better yet, I'll let him speak for himself. Let's find.
Oh, it's trending already. Gilbert Arenas, South Sudan.
Exactly. You got
Gil
it.
said what?
Are you watching it?
Let me see this.
I'll say you go ahead and share, present it. He'll say if not, I'll do it.
Oh, he said we're supposed to be losing the air up there.
Right. They don't have shoes. I mean,
that's all it takes. That's all it takes. The leftover shoes.
Rose out of pocket for that, man.
You know, it's kind of sad because at the same time, where's the, you know, he's talking down on him, but like, where's the praise? David almost slew Goliath.
You feel me? And I thought, you know, America, we always appreciate an underdog story.
They the underest of the dogs. Okay, right. It don't. I mean, no disrespect to my people out in South Sudan, but damn, where do they practice?
Outside. Luol Deng. Which you got to remember Luol Deng.
Yeah,
was he like a 2 guard or a 3 guard?
He's small forward.
Small forward, yeah. There you go. I remember him mostly from the Chicago Bulls. You feel me? 3-and-D. But anyway, apparently he's from Sudan himself, and he's actually erecting the first indoor court in South Sudan.
Man,
so these guys been playing in the elements, literally.
That's like when they first discovered what happens when you fucking light oil on fire. Literally, it ain't gonna stop burning.
Nah. You know, not to change subject too much, but we all know as NFL, at least in America, NFL is, you know, is the number one sport, the powerhouse sport. And I've been saying over the last few years that NBA is going to surpass the NFL. And a lot of it has to do with its how popular it is abroad, you know. Obviously, you know, off camera, you know, you and I spoke a little bit about football. Yeah, that's picking up as well, but nowhere near at the speed of the NBA, you know, or just professional basketball in general.
I mean, last time I checked, there ain't no World Cup for football. That don't exist. And like, when you think about it from this, you know, they've tried it multiple times, right? Like 20 years ago, Madden 04 had the European Football League in it.
I recall. I remember.
You know, they had, what was it? The Berlin Thunder.
The Argonauts and stuff like that, like the Canadian Football League too.
Yeah, like it hasn't panned out in Europe because the game's too slow. And it also comes down to they do love football. You know what I mean? Like they love it, but do they love 16 games worth in a year? Probably not. Like that's what we're seeing. Like they're trying all these things, but naturally, it's just not. It doesn't have the excitement factor to them. They're not familiar with the players. They're not familiar with the names. Like it's the team histories. Like their teams are almost 200 years old. We got teams that the Giants are like the oldest fucking team, and they're only 100.
Yeah, right.
So when you think about it, I don't know what you think. Like I don't think. I think it's nice to see it expanding, but it's like they may as well be exhibition games when they go play over there.
I'm a little biased, especially on this topic. I agree. It's expanding is always a good thing for any business plan. Getting more eyes on a product, increases your potential on earning more money. Correct?
Yeah.
But when it comes to diehard fans, for example, myself, which I'm a diehard Eagles fan. Can't see you see it in the back, people.
Yeah.
First game of the season, my Philadelphia Eagles are playing the Green Bay Packers in Brazil. Sounds cool. The Eagles, it's a home game. I don't think that's fair. I mean, technically, we'll be the home team abroad, but that's not a home team. That's not a home game, and we won't have any home favor. Exactly. It's a neutral site, and then also, there's more to it to that game being the fact that due to I guess a rival football club in Brazil, they wear green, and then why would the NFL choose two teams that predominantly wear green and the Eagles and the Packers? I really don't understand it. I mean, obviously, other than we're trying to expand to another market, but I mean, at the detriment of your consistent consistent fan base, I don't think you should do that.
Well, I mean, they just dropped the fucking ball, bro. Like, how you not know you're not supposed to wear green?
And two green teams
in that city. Like that's like wearing red in South Central. You asking for questions, bro. Like you asking, like it's the same concept, bro. Like there's no difference. Like you wearing the wrong color in the wrong neighborhood. Motherfucker's gonna be like, "What you want?"
We just got the Brazilian with set you claim. Is that what the NFL? The NFL got us with Brazilian
bro.
set you claim.
You gonna have a lot of tourists in some awkward situations.
Right.
In a city that clearly does not fuck with that color.
Right. Especially for like the unaware, traveler. One that doesn't do their research or due diligence before going abroad. It's funny. I got a funny story. You remember? I believe it was Super Bowl 50. Was that the one we had in the Bay Area in San Francisco?
I think so.
It doesn't matter.
That was the first. I think that was the first Niners versus Chiefs. I think that was the first matchup.
Yeah, but I recall that Super Bowl 50, right? At that time, man, I was working in the hotel industry. And I remember, and it's funny because I even just did it myself right now. Remember, I just said in San Francisco. You and I both know it was in San Francisco Bay Area, but the game did not take place in San Francisco. It was actually in Santa Clara. And I recall that people were making reservations at various hotels all over the Bay Area, thinking they were next to where the Super Bowl was when they're actually 2-3 miles out from the event,
Yeah.
And I attribute that to one, it was misleading from media saying, San Francisco when technically it was actually in Santa Clara. Wow. 2,
45-mile difference, man.
You feel a major difference, That and also the uninformed traveler, one that doesn't do their own due diligence. If you knew better, you do better, right? So,
well, that's what these teams be doing nowadays, man. They be putting these stadiums in cities that they don't even play in, and call them and giving them the same name.
I know,
i.e., New Jersey,
New Jersey Giants,
and possibly who gonna move next? What's the rumor right now? The Sixers are also starting to go to Jersey and play in Camden.
No.
Yeah, they're trying to play in Camden.
Are you serious? I've never heard that.
It's just a tactic, though, man. That's what they do. They're like, let me go let me go talk to this bad bitch over here to get some attention from the one I really
Yeah.
want to talk to. It's that type shit.
Nah, exactly. Got to be because I was about to say, the Sixers fan base would never let them leave the city of Philly. Like that would never happen.
But shit, ain't Camden one of the most dangerous cities in the country? Last time I checked.
Camden? I think you're thinking of Newark. Camden is South Jersey. I mean, it's more like rural and
Oh, there's 2 Camdens?
yeah.
I don't
No.
know.
No. I was saying I think you're mistaken. Usually when people think of a rougher part of Jersey, you think of Newark, Jersey. You're thinking of Camden because Camden is pretty chill. It's pretty rural. I got a lot of family out there in South Jersey.
Shit, last time I saw Camden was one of the most dangerous cities
Really?
in
Like I
the
said,
country.
I'm thinking you might be thinking of Newark.
No, I just saw it on the news. They were like, yeah, Camden is one of the highest crime-ridden
Wow.
places in the country.
Really? I was
Yeah,
never
like
man.
homicide rates are high, crime rates are high. It's because the city like needs to be redeveloped. It's kind of like suffering that downward slope. Yeah, Camden's across the river from Philly.
Yeah, South Jersey. Yeah, nah, Camden. Like I said, it's more rural, so I can see
That's
definitely
why
after the
it's run
pandemic and
down.
stuff. Yeah, probably messing with its employment and stuff like that. But yeah, I always thought it was rural, slow town. But shout out to my aunt Manny, man. She's a goon, I guess.
Camden is run down. No offense to people in Camden, but y'all know this already. We ain't telling nothing y'all don't know.
Right.
Y'all know what it is. Shit. During the biggest games of the year.
Oh, I'm assuming you're referring to it.
Yeah, I mean, bro, these teams, they don't care about being in these cities no more. Everybody's trying to go somewhere else. You know what I mean? Like, they just want to get money out of it. They want to get the city to pay for the stadium, and then bam, there you go. That's how it works. And it's kind of interesting to see how it unfolds because, like, we're starting to see colleges and universities do this now, too, because of
What?
NIL. And yeah, bro, like, have you looked at Northwestern's new stadium?
No. What are you talking about? What are we
Bro,
talking about?
Northwestern, well, I know it's a private school, right?
Yeah,
Private school. They built
prestigious.
they building a brand new state of the art stadium. I think it's like $300 million for a
I'm
D1
assuming.
school that has a losing record every year.
Yeah, I mean, because that's more like a prestigious academic school. What are like lawyers and whatnot at Northwestern?
Yeah,
But
it's a law school,
so who's paying for this? Are you saying NIL or alum? Who's paying for
bro.
this new
It's
state of art facility?
alum. It's so that they can get more NIL.
So they're
Yeah,
trying to attract more talent. They go.
yeah. Dramatic new facelift to Ryan Field
And I'll be honest with you, ain't nobody going out there. Ain't nobody trying to be in cold ass Chicago in the winter. I'm
to
good, bro.
play football. That's
Mhm.
crazy, bro. Like, how you gonna compete
Yeah.
with SC, UCLA, Ohio State, Michigan State? How you gonna compete with all them schools? Penn State.
I
How do
mean,
you compete with all them schools just
hey
because you got
man,
to do it? It's crazy.
you said like you said, man, money talks. Those NIL deals are gonna have to be crazy. Or I'm assuming boosters are gonna be offering all types of 4-wheel drive vehicles or something. I don't know.
I mean, I love what not to change the subject too much, but I love all these stories we're hearing about what boosters actually do and who's been getting paid for the longest time. Also, shout out to Reggie Bush for getting his Heisman back.
About
He
time,
deserved
right?
it. About time.
Who was it again? Was it who helped him with that? It was what's his
Johnny
name?
Manziel,
There you
man.
go,
Johnny
Manziel Mania.
football.
Johnny Football, all people, bro. Out here doing the Lord's work.
The Lord, he got this man his Heisman back in a matter of weeks after he said what he said. And he was like, yeah, I don't want to be a part of this if Reggie ain't a part of it. And
Johnny
shit, lo and behold, a couple of weeks later, Reggie gets his Heisman back.
Johnny Football still got the juice. Let's go
Yeah.
figure. Like, he ain't even in the game. He's not even playing right now, right?
Nah, he's just chilling, enjoying his pension, bro. That's it.
Living life. That's crazy.
That's
Johnny
all. I
Football,
mean,
man.
like, what happened to Reggie Bush is so interesting now because when you think about his specific case in the grand scheme of college football now,
Mm-hmm.
I can't help but ask, so what happens with all the wins that all these schools have vacated for recruiting violations now that all this shit's legal? If we giving Heisman backs, we got to give them W's back too, baby, and them national championships.
I think that's a slippery slope, man.
Is there a difference?
No, it really isn't. When you, in that grand scheme of things, it's not. I feel like they're going to handle that case by case, man. If people approach them like, "Hey, man, what about this?" Then they'll do it. But hey, but don't say nothing to nobody else, because I mean, because technically, I feel like it was illegal at the time, so it should still, those games should still be forfeited, in my opinion.
That's not how the law works, though.
I mean, well, look at the political situation. Marijuana is legal now. Do you think they're going to start just letting a bunch of people out of prison because
they have?
I know in certain places
they've decriminalized a lot of people's records.
I know I've seen it in a lot of places, but it's not going to go nationwide. Like that's never going to happen in what, Texas? What's another weed? Oklahoma. Where they're super strict about
where it's legal for what are the two terms? There's
recreational, medicinal.
When it's recreational, they also expunge everyone's record who had been caught with the substance, and they expunge the record too. Let everybody else too.
I don't know about that one, bro, because I'm pretty sure there's got to be people in California still locked up from Miss Kamala Harris. Bro.
Obviously, for like if you got pounds on you, but like when it's just like a couple of zips, you straight. They make that shit go. That's why I'm like, bro, give USC their national championships back. Like, what are we talking about? Like, they didn't do nothing wrong. Like I don't think people don't understand where these college students come from, bro. They come from some of the most broken down, run down parts of this country, and they act like when they get to college, they got money in their pocket or something like that. That's crazy, bro.
Yeah, that's something I never really understood either. I feel like they should get some type of stipend, being the fact that when you're there on a like athletic scholarship, you're obligated to, go to attend X amount of workouts and things of that nature, where you don't have the availability to work, a part-time gig or whatever,
No time. It's a social contract, bro. That's what it is.
Yeah.
It's a social contract, and you're asking these kids to put their lives on the line for a school.
And you don't get your name on the back of that jersey either. Well, now you might do, right?
Some of them yeah. I mean, there's a couple of schools, Penn State. You ain't getting your name on the back of that jersey. Like USC, right. Notre Dame, you ain't getting your name on the back of that fucking jersey.
No name's bigger than a school.
No, exactly. No name is bigger than the school. That's the whole point.
But NIL sounds different.
But that's what I'm saying, though. Like,
Shedeur.
Shedeur is walking out there with Rollies and Richard Millies and a Cybertruck and all this shit. Well, I mean, he has a different experience because
Rich Daddy
has taught him how to get these deals. Not everybody has that background.
Mm-hmm.
Travis Hunter was smart. I like his podcast. He started, doing it pretty good last season. I can't wait to hear about it again this year when he starts doing his podcast in between the games. And that hit was crazy on him last year. He knocked the wind out of his ass.
Yeah, man, I'm still tripping off of that one. Like, how did that guy not get ejected? That was clearly targeting, bro. He launched. I was launching and targeting. I don't understand that, bro.
Spleen.
Huh?
He ruptured his spleen.
Yeah.
That's how hard he hit him. Because he wasn't paying attention.
That was the Colorado State game, right?
Yeah, that was week 3, week 4 of last year.
Yeah,
that was a tough one, bro.
So, but that was the second time they played, right? Or was it the first game they played?
That was the first. They only play one game a year.
I swear, I thought they played twice.
No, they don't play one game a year.
I swear Colorado beat Colorado the first time, and then lost to Colorado State the second time.
No, you just play once. You play you play like 6 teams in your schedule from your conference like once.
Oh, okay.
But now, I mean, you got the Big Ten. There's fucking 18 teams in that conference, bro. So like, you could play every team in the conference and not have to play anybody else outside of it now. I mean, you could 3 games outside of it, yeah.
So how is that working if you have certain conferences that are much larger than other ones? So are the smaller conferences playing multiple conferences, like interconference play, or how's that work?
That's the thing. So I've been playing a lot of NCAA 25.
Shameless plug.
That game is addictive. If crack was a game, it would be that game. What's happening is the conferences are so geographically staggered.
Mm-hmm.
Like the Big 12 is, I think, 14 teams. The Big Ten is 18 teams. The SEC and the ACC are also super large conferences now, while the American Conference is shrunk. Conference USA is shrunk as well. So, I mean, just the whole structure of it. Like, you got USC that's going to go to Michigan to play them in September.
Wow.
Like,
that's an awesome game.
It's going to be a 187. That's what it is. And I'm an SC fan. I know we ain't winning that game.
So the strength of the conference, pretty much it only impacted the smaller conferences, which really didn't matter as much anymore at this point anyway.
Yeah, I mean, when you think about it like this, there's now 12 teams in the football playoff now. So essentially how this works out towards the end of the season is the top 12 teams play towards the national championship. Some teams play 4 games to get to the national championship, an extra 4 games, which is crazy. On top of your already 12-game schedule plus your conference championship game. Yeah.
Yeah.
You got college kids playing like almost 18 games in a season now.
I was about to say, definitely getting NFL ready. That's for sure.
Because if you're the number one, if you're 1 through 4, you get a bye. So if you're ranked 1 through 4 towards the end of the season, you get a 1-week bye. So you only play 3 games. So you could play it could be a very long season for a lot of teams this year.
Hey, you know what I was just thinking? I was thinking of Johnny Manziel. You know, he had a stellar college career.
Oh, that man broke the internet.
Stellar college career. You know what? You can't even say stellar because he didn't even win the big thing, but you know, he had a hot college career.
He took down the best teams at the time. I don't see how you don't give him like a national championship. He took down Alabama.
Yeah, I remember.
Who else did he take down? He took down Alabama as a freshman, man.
I'm saying, like, all right, dude had an impeccable career, right?
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure we both can agree his professional career wasn't the greatest. It was
look at
underwhelming.
The environment he was in. Look at the environment he was in, bro.
I mean, I've seen people been in much worse environments and still have better career. You know,
who's had a good career? That's
perfect example. Blake Bortles. Blake Bortles. I'll say Blake Bortles. Blake Bortles
had one good season.
Hey man, and he pulled off a career being a journeyman, right? Made millions and millions and millions of dollars, right? So I'm just saying,
a career or a side hustle? I don't know what we calling that because he had one good season, and then poof, he was gone.
Let's look up how much Blake Bortles made. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna say he made over $100 million his career.
I know he made a lot of money, but he didn't win nothing.
Oh, I mean, yeah. Well, that's not the argument. I'm saying he had a successful career. You know, he lasts. He made some things happen compared to Johnny Football.
Well, I mean, Johnny Football never made it out of his rookie contract.
Wow, Blake Bortles only made 20 mil.
Yeah, he was a backup, man. He only got his rookie deal. That was it. He never signed an extension.
3-year, 54 mil. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, after taxes, that's all he gets.
Yeah, I mean, hey, that's still pretty good. I'm not gonna hate on that. I'm not gonna sneeze on that.
Well, that's what they're talking about right now as well, is that ceiling. You know, like the way teams are structuring their cap. A significant portion of it is going to the quarterback, like they said.
So I'll say like 75% of it.
Yeah, and it's like, okay, everybody else just becomes replaceable then.
Yeah, and it's trippy because, like, you know, I was actually just listening to McCoy and Taylor talk about that. They're kind of complaining about, you know, not complaining. They're bringing awareness to the fact that quarterback is treated different from every other position. You know, every other position it's performance based.
Yeah.
And when it comes to quarterback, it's next man up, gets the crazy contract.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of, like, another Florida quarterback, Tua just got his contract. What I think it was 167 mil guaranteed, 216 million 4 years. Not bad for an injury prone guy. I like that it was only 4 years, meaning he'll be able to re up for another contract before he, rise off to the sunset. Good move, and he's left a little chicken on the table for other positions. Granted, I don't think that's going to help Tyreek Hill, but they can help someone else maybe in their secondary.
I mean, man, you got to win a playoff game.
Right.
You got to win a playoff game to get paid. I mean, if I was a GM, I've won several fantasy leagues. I think I could be a good fucking GM. You got to win in the playoffs, baby. You got to win. I've won football. I've won basketball. I can do it.
Hey,
it's just
tell the Dallas fans that you got to win in the playoffs.
Hey man, they haven't won since I've been alive, so I don't know what anybody's talking about. They ain't won since I've been alive. So I don't know. It's almost 30 years. That's a generation.
Yeah, exactly.
And something's not working. Something ain't working.
It's all good. Let's hope it stays that way. I don't need to win it anytime soon.
Y'all got a good, situation with Saquon. You got Darius Slay back. You got CJ Gardner-Johnson back. You got you let Hassan Reddick go though. Don't know why you did that. I mean, somebody give me some context on that move.
Man, I'm a huge Reddick fan. You saw that when the Kelly Green jersey came back out. I actually purchased the Hassan Reddick Kelly Green jersey, so I'm a huge fan.
Unfortunately, yes.
Yes, it was unfortunate. Granted, he doesn't make sense with our new scheme, our defensive scheme.
And what is this scheme?
So we're with the godfather of the Fangio. We got Vic Fangio, and he runs a 3-2. And so with that being said, our defenders are going to have to drop back in coverage from time to time, guarding tight ends and running back here and there. And that is not I'm not going to say that he can't do it, but he's not proficient at it. Hassan Reddick, that is not in his bag of tricks. He is strictly just a pass
rusher. Yeah,
strictly pass rusher. So Bryce Huff, who we traded pretty much, I would say as a trade. We pretty much traded Hassan Reddick to the Jets for Bryce Huff, but not just Bryce Huff, who is an up-and-coming defensive end. We also kind of got Mekhi Becton out of it as well, because we ended up trading for him a little bit later as well in the offseason, which is a huge left guard who's actually pushing him to possibly be a starting right guard on our team. So he's a swing tackle, which is pretty awesome. But I kind of understand why my GM made a jump, because look, I'm not going to take anything from Hassan. Like I said, I'm a fan, but Hassan he's expecting, I think 25 mil is his magic number. Bro's almost 30 something. He's 30 plus. He's kind of aged out. I don't see any franchise giving him that number for the production that he offers, which he is a four consecutive 10-digit sack, hit that, that statistic 4 times for 4 different franchises. But I mean, there's a huge hole in his game, being the fact that he's not really much of a run stopper, nor can he drop back in coverage. It's kind of a one-trick pony.
Yeah, you guys have a lot of departures, but a lot of good key additions. Saquon, Paris Campbell. I mean, you got CJ Gardner. Like I say, you got CJ Gardner-Johnson back.
Welcome back.
You needed the O-line help because Travis Kelce retired. So you definitely had to rework your O-line a little bit, and then you definitely switched up. I mean, let's talk about Kenny Pickett, okay?
I think it's solid, man.
Too much air on him, but
yeah,
that's a good pickup in case shit goes south.
I would say so too. I think he can at least win us 1 or 2 games. If not, he's trade bait. I mean, you build him up.
Trade bait, but hey, y'all have this weird luck with backup quarterbacks taking you deep when it matters most. Nicholas Foles.
Shout out
Who
to
I've
you and
actually had the
I.
pleasure of meeting once. He's a very odd fellow, but he's a cool guy.
Oh man, put some
He's a flip
respect
flops
on
guy.
put
He's a
some
flip
respect
flops
on
guy.
Nick's name, man.
He's a flip flop guy. Like
Isn't he from Arizona? I know he
uh
went to ASU, but if he's from
no,
Arizona, I
he
wouldn't
went
be
to U of
surprised.
A. He's a
U of A, that's all
wildcat.
I meant. I'm sorry.
He
Yeah,
went
yeah,
to
that's
U
all
of
I meant.
A.
U of A. That's all I meant.
Yeah.
U of A. So
I don't know
yeah,
where he's from. I think I met him when I was working at Best Buy and
where?
in Newport Beach, and I was like, because you gotta check their IDs when they're paying with credit card, and I was like, Nicholas Foles, and this was before he graced you guys with your first championship, in almost 100 years. Yeah, I was like looking at it, I was like,
Slick
Nicholas Foles.
this.
I was like, ain't this the fucking quarterback? I was like, it's the quarterback. I was like, oh shit. I was like, you do not look like a quarterback, dog. That's crazy.
He doesn't really have much of an athletic physique. He looks
Man,
really tall and lanky, right?
man had his Clark Kent glasses on with some like old ass shorts, like not athletic shorts, like the cloth kind shorts that go past the knees.
Oh,
And he had
okay.
some like brown flip flops on. And
Yeah.
I was like, dog, I just watched you play at U of A. Like, what's going on? Like, I don't understand it. But that's his vibe, though. That's who he is. He's a laid back guy. That's how he is.
I was just about to say, man, you commented on saying he had his Clark Kent glasses. Well, Super Bowl 47, he jumped out of that phone booth and Superman all over Brady. So mad
Man,
respect to that man. Shout out to
that
that guy.
is that's one of the best Super Bowls in, like, when you rank all the Super Bowls, that's probably got to be up there.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
surprised they
definitely
haven't
one.
made a movie out of it.
That was definitely one of the more entertaining. It was a shootout, and the throning of the king at the time. Unbiased, I would say a lot of the Eagles we have very entertaining Super Bowls. Like even the one we most recently lost, I feel like that was a hell of a Super Bowl. Um, I feel like man, we had one more play, we could have won it. The one
Star
against the
power,
Chiefs. Yeah.
Star power. That was a action packed game. I mean, you had a lot on both sides of the ball, like in general.
Mm-hmm.
And I think what happened was, I think your coach didn't know what to do in the fourth quarter. I
I
think
I agree.
I think Andy Reid was playing chess with his ass, and he was
Mm-hmm.
playing checkers.
No, exactly. That was our situation. We was I think we were definitely the more talented team on both sides of the ball.
Yeah,
It's just the experience and coaching. That's what got us, and that's also what got us last year. We had a 10-1 start, and I believe we went what
no, you lost 3.
7-6.
Yeah,
We went 7-6 in the end, and that was all due to just breaking down of coaching. We had two brand new coordinators and
they were
lack
not
of
on the same page.
exactly, and the head coach his lack of experience. It was it was
We still
rough.
don't know if he was calling the plays, if it was him or if it was them.
No, he took
We ever
credit. He took blame.
Was
It's
he really
official.
calling the plays?
He was.
We don't know.
Being the fact that I've actually followed Brian Johnson, did a lot of research on it. That offense is nothing near Brian Johnson's offense. Brian Johnson's offense is actually very similar to what you're going to see this season with Kellen Moore. Very similar, but hot routes and throwing to your running backs. And utilizing the middle of the field, which we were actually the most proficient team in the league last season, but who did it the least. One thing I would say about our head coach, I like him. I love his passion. I love his drive. He's definitely a people's person, and he's a player's coach. But he's arrogant or pride. He's very prideful. And a great man said, before the pride comes the fall. That was the most evident of last season.
Well, that brings up a good point. I don't think Philly's ever been in this position with this much star power before. That these players clearly don't want to go anywhere else. They don't.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody wants to go to Philly now to play there. And I think in situations like this, it's a product of the environment, right? It's the coaches, it's the owner, it's the fans, it's the city, but more
Culture.
importantly, it's the culture.
Mm-hmm.
People go where they know they're going to enjoy it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Philadelphia is not Miami, but I don't see everybody lining up to go down to Miami to go play,
No.
you know? And I think what's happening is it's turning into what Kansas City has now. People will take less to go play there because they just want to be there with those other players.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a dangerous combination right there when you can provide that. Because look at all the other illustrious locations people can go play in. They choose not to. Why? Because the culture.
No, I agree.
It makes a huge difference with these players, man. Like through and through. Look at what we've learned about the culture of New England.
What was that? The Bill Belichick way? No, the Patriot way. My
The
apologies.
Patriot way is dead.
Yeah, I mean, but it lasted for what, a decade strong.
It lasted, but
Results.
it is dead.
No, it is. It's official.
No, they do not pick up anyone in free agency. They do not trade for anyone. They get literally nothing now.
Yeah, you're right.
Why? How does a dynasty die? That's like the fall of the Roman Empire, bro. How quickly that happened. But that's just an example of how quickly things change.
I mean,
You guys are one of the hottest destinations right now, and Tennessee, because I'm a Titans fan. Yeah, we got Jamal Adams last week. I'll take that one. He ain't even 30. Don't say nothing. He ain't even 30. He ain't even 30.
I know that's the worst part. You got traded. It's like the third time he's been traded.
Second, okay.
This Pro Bowl season.
Environment.
Well, yeah, I'll agree with you on that one. Sometimes a change of scenery helps, but
we've seen
I don't know if that's
a
your
change
case.
of scenery resurrect multiple careers in this game.
All right, so earlier I introduced him as Shelly Shell, but his nickname is also Mr. Glass Half Full.
Hey man, listen. I see what's happening in Tennessee. All right, we got a new stadium. All right, on coming up. It's gonna be a beautiful. I'll be there. Game 1, 50-yard line, 2026, 2027, whenever it opens. I will be there. We got a lot of nice additions, if you ask me. I think we'd be just fine. And I mean, the king departed us, but kings move, dynasties end, new rulers step up. We'll be all right. King Henry's still great, but we'll be all right.
What are we talking about? This AFC South. Who you got? So who took your spot? I guess the juggernaut now is what, the Colts, Indianapolis?
Nah. The Texans. They assembled a super team. Like I always say, it's the culture. If the locker room ain't working, that team ain't gonna be working. And we learned that from the movie Any Given Sunday.
So speaking of the Texans, I forgot, man, they did have hell of a season last season, and they did some great drafting. Do you think
and trades?
Exactly, and trades. Hopefully,
I'm
hoping my Eagles. I'm hoping we trade with them. I want that. Wide receiver 3, Mechie. I want him on my team.
Oh,
but
yeah.
But you've heard of this thing called a sophomore slump, right? Do you think that's
happened to Deshaun Watson too?
Yeah. So you think
that could be an issue for Joe Burrow? Happened to Joe Burrow. Well, that sophomore slump thing only happens if you tear your ACL. In all honesty, it's only happened to those people. Robert Griffin III is also another one. Like if you're more than likely to tear your shit in your second season. That's what happens. It happens to all of the greats.
So did you just wish an injury on CJ Stroud? Y'all heard that, right?
I didn't wish nothing. I'm just saying that's historically what's happened to all of them. All these amazing rookie quarterbacks, second season, pop.
ACL.
There goes that knee.
That's the script.
Robert Griffin III could have been an amazing quarterback. Popped his knee.
Did Luck do his ACL year 2 as well? Andrew Luck?
I mean, I know he got sacked the most out of anybody, so it's quite possible. Or shoulder surgery, one of the two. Something bad must have happened. Because he said, fuck this, I'm done after a couple of years. He said, I ain't coming back. But yeah, the sophomore slump is really a sophomore curse. Like a lot of quarterbacks that second year, it ain't the same as the first.
gets wicked out there.
Well, I mean, I wish I understood how that occurs, but it's just a freak accident that happens to all of them. But
I think it's the transition from collegiate sports to a professional league, man. It just moves that much faster. And then, the wear and tear, guys are stronger and faster. The season's a little bit longer. So you don't have as much time to recover. And then I would say probably the second season plays a major fact is the fact that there's tape on you now. So people know what to expect.
that's true as well. You bring a very good point.
It's like I always like to think about remember Kaepernick's first year? Well, he
Yeah,
caught the
Kaepernick
league
had a
by
good run.
storm.
He had a really good run.
He did. Literally. Literally had a good run. That boy had some wheels, man. Like
He had a very good run. The Super Bowl, if we don't have that blackout, I think it still goes the way of the 49ers.
yeah. They should have beat the Ravens.
That gives, but they're brothers. So it's like they also know each other very well at that point. He's like, oh, this is what he's doing. I know what he's going to do next. One of them knew what the other was going to do better at the end of the day, and that's who won.
And is that Big Bro? Big Bro in Baltimore, or is John Harbaugh?
That's Little Bro in Baltimore.
He's Little Bro.
Big Brother is now with the Chargers again.
Chargers, okay.
Don't know why you leave Michigan after winning that national championship. I know there was some controversy in this last season.
That's what I heard. It was about the controversy.
They try to Pete Carroll him too. Maybe we'll never know. We won't know for at least 5 to 10 years unless they start talking about this. So
yeah, I heard
that's kind of
controversy.
That's the assumption, is that allegedly he also was, giving some unfair treatment to players via financially, sending funds. We don't know how much, but that's allegedly what happened, which led to his suspension and such. But
yeah, I heard he was buying burgers and stuff like that. Like, come on, man.
Oh, how dare he? How dare he? I'm pretty sure your little league coach will buy you some McDonald's after a game too.
Yeah, right. I know. We used to go to Pizza Hut.
Is that a violation?
When Pizza Hut was lit back in the 80s, 90s.
How we get to do that when we kids, but when we get older, our coach can't do that no more. That's crazy, man.
I don't know.
How, Sway?
Make it make sense.
When you think about it, the whole landscape right now is just so different in 20 years. It's completely different. 20 years that we've seen sports from 1980 to 2000, not the same jump.
No, you're right. Even the way we digest it. Like, for example, like I get my sports news, like I very rarely ever watch ESPN or Fox Sports News anymore. It's all strictly YouTube content creators, and hence why I want to fill this lane. People get used to seeing us.
Yeah, that's the whole point. I mean, to provide people with information that is like real, not let's put a spin on it so we can get some airplay on ESPN or Fox Sports or any of those, publications, because they are, for the most part, just spinning their wheels.
Yeah.
Just to get you to think about something a certain way, and then it's not even actually true.
Fishing for content, man. We get it. They're all out there trying to fish for likes and clicks. We all get it. But like I have no issue with a hot take if it's genuine, you truly believe it. But like sometimes some of the things that, like, for example, Nick Wright and Skip Bayless say, they don't believe that in their heart of hearts. It's like, come on, bro. Like, for
Nick
real.
Wright has some nerve with the things he said.
Which one?
He has some nerve with some of the things he said, because in general, he is just a hot take factory. He wants,
he really is,
whatever he can to get people to be upset. That's all he wants to do. He's not talking anything about sports, anything about the games. He's talking about things that just are so irrelevant to normal people, right? That it's like, what are you doing? Like, you're just spinning, you're just trying to create some drama, trying to create an angle. And we don't need that anymore. That's why we like people like Pat McAfee.
Yeah. Man of the people.
man of the people. That's why we like Pat Bev. We like the Pat Bev podcast. Belt to ass. It's real. He talks about real stuff, the real side of the business, the real side of the news, the real aspect of relationships.
I'm low key a Pat Bev fan, man. And I think it's unfortunate he's not going to be in the league probably anymore going forward. I feel like he really kind of dropped the bag on that one, man, with some of his antics and his.
He'll be back.
You think so?
He'll be back.
So how long are you going to play overseas? And that's why I don't think he's going to be back because he's old. He's like what, 34?
That's fine.
And he just signed a 3-year deal in Turkey. He ain't coming back. Because what? I think you're
36. That's it.
Yeah, he's done. His career's over, bro.
He was done anyways. Yeah, he's 36.
He's a defensive player, and in that age 36, your defensive abilities are gone. So
well, Turkey, I mean, he threw the ball at a white woman. You can't do that.
Yeah, twice.
No.
Like twice. He did it twice. Yeah, no.
You can't, like you're asking for it. Someone else who is also turning 36 by name of mention, Kevin Love.
Really?
Turning 36 in September.
Kevin Love is the oldest 36-year-old ever.
He's a silver fox, man. He's got that George Clooney thing going right now with his hair.
Say Kevin Love and Embiid are two of the oldest young men I know in my life.
Well, he ain't really played in 5 years, so that's kind of the crazy. He's been riding the bench for like 5 years.
No, I know. But mental illnesses and a gambit of injuries, and then Joel, man, he just can't stay healthy. He got like the worst body for a young dude because he's like what? He's under 32, right? Is he like 28 or something?
He's 28, but he's finessing everybody though.
Embiid?
He's playing the game where let's get paid as much as possible and play the least. And he clearly does not care about championships.
Clearly. That's not part of his process.
Care. No, he does not care. He's just trying to get paid, man. And it's kind of obvious. It's indisputable at this point.
He's troll too.
He just wants to get paid. Otherwise, why you duck and smoke?
The Joker.
Yeah, just duck and smoke. So, I get you're on a minutes restriction, but are you really though? Because is 20 minutes really going to hurt you that much? Like you can't exercise for 20 minutes. He ain't running full speed. Like when you're counting steps, he probably takes the fewest amount of steps out of anybody on the court.
Yeah. Literally got some of the longest legs. So yeah.
So yeah, he's just finessing. He just wants to get paid. Look, Paul George talked about this last week, man. He talked about money. Carmelo just talked about it the other day with Jalen Brunson's deal. He's like, would you leave 113 on the table? No. To get a championship? No.
Me, no. But
no?
Me, no. But because me, it's about the money. I'm trying to get paid, bro. Like our career is not long. You feel me? Now,
exactly.
I was kind of listening to Mason Cam, and they were kind of explaining on why Jalen did what he did, and his different. Yeah, because like he won with all his brothers in college. You feel me? He know them dudes, and obviously going to look out for your partners in the league too, and they're willing to make those sacrifices for each other. At least I hope they do it for each other, because if not, that's jacked up. Because Brody left a lot of chicken on the table, man. Like that's a lot of money, bro.
I mean, but is it a lot of money in the state of New York, where they pay the highest taxes in the world?
Bro, yes, man. I want that extra $100 million.
That's not $100 million though. It's only 40.
All right, so there's additional $20 million he get to put in his pocket. I'm with that.
Maybe after everybody gets their cut, it might be around that.
I want that shit, bro. I want that.
I'm trying to tell you.
Yeah, hopefully they return the favor, man. What was about to say?
Well, I mean, that's what he did that for the homies, right? Like, this is what we all, wish LeBron could have done with his teammates from high school. He kind of did the same thing. He just made them all like employees under his own business. But that's everybody's dream, man. Like you grow up with these dudes, you want to play together. He did that as a sacrifice to them because he loves them that much. Mm-hmm. Like those are his boys. You know what I mean? Like
the day ones.
yeah, they're going to be together to the day they die. Like they just got Miles Bridges too. Like they're not playing around, bro. Like they're seriously putting up the New York Wildcats. Like they're not playing around. Like this is the Villanova Knicks. Like this is not a joke.
And that's who I'm pulling for in the East. That's my East Coast squad, man. I want the
I
Knicks to do
don't.
something.
Well, man, like there's one thing that's happening right now that nobody's really talking about is like this is the beginning of the end of the Celtics. That team, because of Jaylen Brown not being selected to be a part of Team USA,
Oh yeah, this
and him
messy
also
situation.
being given the Finals MVP over Jason Tatum. We've seen this before. This is nothing new.
You think it's Kobe Shaq?
I don't think I wouldn't say Kobe Shaq, but
Who's the comp?
it's turning into a Durant Warriors type situation.
Like, hey, what? I don't want to cut you off, but like you said, given to Jalen. So do you feel like Jalen did deserve that MVP, or was that?
I mean, what's the criteria for a Finals MVP? Is it your stats, or is it the moments?
Both. I think it's both, and I feel like statistically they were like pretty much even. But then also Jalen, he's the only person that made Luka look human. Like I've never seen Luka have an issue bringing a ball up. I don't say he has the best handles, but he's a 6'9" guard, and Jalen made him look like a little brother. So I think he definitely deserved that Finals MVP. And he also got the Eastern Conference MVP. Once again, going back to Mason Cam, I agree with Mace. I've been saying it for years that Jalen's the best player on the team. But especially now he got a left hand. Finally found the left hand. So I mean,
I think we're getting to that point where one of them's got to go because it ain't gonna work. It ain't gonna work.
But Jaylen it did Brown, though. It did just work. They literally just won the Super Bowl. I mean, the championship like a few weeks ago.
It did work, but it's not going to continue to work. It's not going to continue to work. Nope. You got a lot of weird situations happening on that team right now, and this team has been born through controversy. Mm-hmm. So it's going to follow them wherever they go. But right now, specifically, that relationship between them two, they're coworkers, but they're also friends, you know? But at the end of the day, Jaylen Brown is a very, very intelligent man.
Yeah.
And I could see him asking for a trade to leave that team.
You think so? See, I don't. Because originally I did think kind of like you. I thought there might be like a play by Steve Kerr and other people trying to, pit them against each other. But
what do you think's happening right now on Team USA?
No, exactly. That's the play of trying to split them up. But I think they're, like you said, they're too smart to see that. And then also I feel like their personalities, they complement each other. I would say Jalen is a more outgoing, more outspoken introverted person.
Yes. He's a Richard Sherman, bro. He's turning into a Richard Sherman.
Yes, there you go.
He is.
There you go.
He needed to win the big game and be able to say that.
And Tatum is, I would say he's a Curry. He ain't gonna say much.
Tatum is not saying shit, so he gets paid.
Yeah, be quiet.
Jaylen Brown is educated. That man is not playing around, bro. He is deconstructing Nike shoes and wearing them in games. He's taking the logos off the shoes and wearing them in the games. And the controversy behind the Olympic team is like, okay, we needed Derek White. I ain't seen him do jack shit.
Exactly.
But and pass the ball. I ain't seen him do jack shit. Exactly. So what are we missing here?
And then it didn't help you having Grant Hill throwing, fanning the fire like, oh, it's because you ain't a Nike athlete. I know this because I was Team Fila all my life, so I get it. But I'm here now. But that's probably
the real thing, though. Gil's talked about that. He's talked about how you got to be on the Nike train to be on the team.
Yeah,
they don't want no Adidas dudes on that team
because there really is no Adidas players on there, huh?
No, because there aren't any.
The only one that would probably make it would be what Harden. No. AE Anthony Edwards. He's
That's
Adidas.
it. That's it. That's it. I don't know what Embiid is anymore.
I think he's like Puma. I think
I
like
think he's
Puma,
Puma.
like Puma or Converse. But
I think
that's a deeper opinion. I don't even think he should be on a fucking team. In my opinion, excuse my language. Clearly, you see, I got fired up over that.
Well,
one.
he turned down to go play with France because they already got 2 giants. They said we didn't need a third. So
Yeah, no, we don't. I don't want him on our team either, man. Especially like just see what he's doing now. He's there. He's like, dude, he's more of a distraction. And he's actually bringing value to the team. Like he's just running his fucking mouth. Like,
well, we got him for
size.
Joker.
Yeah,
And for France.
I know that's literally the only reason I have him.
That's the only reason why we picked him up, for those specific reasons, because those are going to be his games.
Yeah, it's like we literally don't have any 7-foot Americans though. Like
we got Kevin Durant. He is 7'1".
I mean, traditional center though. We need a center, like traditional.
He got
250-pound guy.
Back anybody down.
No, I get that, but like we need one big body center from America because like one KD's not a center, and
we
even
don't produce those anymore. We don't make those.
No, we gotta have one, bro. We gotta have
Who?
one somewhere, bro.
Who?
Like
who? Dwight Howard held that torch for 8 years. That was it.
That's what I'm saying. Like, man, he having some kids, right, or something. Like, come on, we gotta have one, bro. Like,
bro, we got nobody from America that is a traditional big man that plays that well anymore.
How come the rest of the world is creating these guys though?
Well, it's just they're extremely tall. Like I mentioned earlier, they don't have to pay to be in these academies, so they get top tier coaches. They're also playing at a professional level at a way younger age. At about 16, they're playing against grown ass men, and they're learning how to be professionals.
No. I totally get that. Why the foreigners are beating us because they're way more skilled due to these academies. But I'm saying, like, genetically, are we not producing any more 7-footers?
No, like, these dudes are all from Africa, dog. They're from former colonies, and they're going to Europe, and they're getting citizenship, and that's how they're getting noticed.
I feel like America, we cap off at like 6'10".
We got none of that no more, bro. There ain't no homegrown heroes.
Well, guess what? No, we still got Chet Holmgren. He's what, 7'2" or some shit, but skinny as hell though. But
he's just. The only reason why he's scoring that well is because the majority of that's like transition points.
Yeah.
Because he can move quicker up the court, but like he's not backing people down.
No.
He ain't doing no putback dunks on nobody. He's not that kind of guy. He can't do that. He'll get hurt.
I would say he hurt himself.
Yeah, he ain't taking that. He already tried to take the contact with LeBron and cost him his whole rookie season. So. Like we're not producing big players anymore, and the world is catching up, man. Like they play more games, they play year round, they start at earlier ages, they play team basketball, not highlight basketball like we play here. It's way different.
I respect it.
Way different, bro. My homie went to go play in Macedonia. Shout out to North Macedonia. My homie went to go play out there, and he was like, man, it's way different. Like the way people play with each other, it's way different. We don't learn how to play like that here. It's all about highlights. Highlights.
Hey, you, man.
Look at Zion. All highlights. Ain't done shit. Highlights.
That's crazy. The fact that Zion nor Ja, who is supposed to be the next ones up, are not on that team.
Well, Ja be all right. Ja will be all right. He'll be all right.
Yeah, I feel like he would have been on the team if he wasn't injured. I feel like he'll
be all right. I'll take ankle injuries over ACLs any day because that's what fucked up and derailed Derrick Rose. I'll take ankle injuries all day, every day over knee injuries.
Derrick Rose. Like, all right. Speaking of Derrick Rose, I was actually talking to my buddy yesterday. Or was I talking to you about it? About Derrick Rose being a worse what if. Like if he didn't get injured, man. Him, Brandon Roy, Tracy McGrady, those what ifs. Grant Hill, what if?
His character arc.
Yeah, man. Like,
I mean, he definitely would have disrupted Miami because he would have been the alternative team for players to go to. And I think they would have enjoyed playing in Chicago more than Miami at that time.
And they just matched up against the Heatles, man. They matched up against them. They matched up perfect. They That would have been a hell of a fucking series going forward, dude.
Well, that's my whole big thing is I think there were those 5 years there were the majority of the major stars all had contracts coming up. You could have caught a Kevin Durant. You could have been the beneficiary of that James Harden trade. Like there were a lot of different players that could have been traded to Chicago at that time had Derrick Rose been healthy, that they would have made those moves for. Like, could you imagine if D Rose and James Harden would have played with each other earlier in their careers? What that would have looked like in the East? They would have tore everybody up. With that defense they had too. Oh man.
Or just say if OKC never split up.
I think OKC had to split up because of personalities.
Think so?
I think they all started like kind of what happened to Kobe after, that first championship. It gets to your head a little bit. And I think it got to their head, but they didn't even win anything, which is crazy. But also, you had a coach who didn't understand how to coach that kind of talent at the time. Scott Brooks no concept of dealing with those kinds of personalities, or how do you keep somebody like James Harden on the bench? How? That don't help anybody. Anybody who plays 2K can tell you that.
I mean, and what was that coach's name at that? Billy Donovan? That was Billy Donovan at that time, right?
No, Scott Brooks.
Scott Brooks here, right there. Donovan came after the fact.
Yeah, Donovan came after, yeah.
In respect to Scott Brooks, that James Harden wasn't James Harden yet. Like
somebody knew it, and it was. I feel like everybody else knew it, and it wasn't him.
I was like Derek Morey knew.
Yeah, Daryl Morey knew. He was like, "Oh, I'm gonna get him.
House on it.
I'm gonna get him." But look at the team he created. It just didn't work out. Dwight Howard, Jeremy Lin, and James Harden. That's not a good team. Trevor Ariza. That's not a good team. Because Dwight Howard at the time was averaging like 25 points a game, man. Like, he was putting up serious points. And you just completely derail that part of his career because you shift those touches to James Harden instead.
Yeah. That boy was.
So it didn't work out.
He could dribble the hell out of basketball too, man.
Yeah. I mean, if you flip that and go the other way and you send Harden to Chicago instead and you trade, let's say, Luol Deng and maybe Ben Gordon at the time or Kirk Heinrich, you send both of them. But OKC was only asking for a second-round draft pick.
That was actually that would have been a fair trade too. And I forgot all about Kirk Heinrich. He was all right, man. He was consistent.
Oh, yeah. He was nice. He was
Dookie, right? Was he from Duke?
I think he was Duke. I think he was a Duke guy. Let's see.
I forgot about that team. That's crazy, Ben Gordon. That's actually a decent trade too. It's pretty fair, especially for that version of James Harden.
Yeah. Oh, he's a Kansas guy. Kansas, my bad.
Kansas. Yeah, they're in Kansas. No, something like that.
Kansas. But I mean, like, that's the thing. That's the what if tree that we live in with the NBA. Like, there's so many of these occurrences where clearly whoever made their choice, they made the wrong choice. Paul George just spoke about it recently too. He said, I went to LA and I felt like I was on the B team.
Yeah.
And everybody's like, no shit. Of course you're on the B team. It's the Clippers, dog. Everybody's going to tell you should have went to the Lakers. Like, you're dumb.
You feel like,
now
bro,
he regrets it.
I mean, this nigga from LA, he fucking knew. I mean, him and Kawhi, bro, they were sitting there trying to troll LeBron. That's what it really was. And
you ain't getting no trophy. You ain't getting no jersey retired. You went there for nothing.
Yeah,
you went there for nothing. You wasted 5 years of your career doing nothing when you could have went to the Lakers and just like, is it that like it's the pressure, man? And you know who talked about it? Jeff Teague. He brought it up on his podcast. He was talking about the pressure of playing in LA because he said Kobe wanted to trade for him, and he told his agent no. He said
Kobe wanted to trade for who? Teagues or PG?
Jeff Teague. And he said no because he didn't want to deal with the pressure. Some people ain't cut out for it, bro.
No, I mean, I totally get it because once again, they kind of were talking about the bubble, and you know how the Clippers had a 3-1 lead but they want to leave so bad that they
They
sold them
left all right. They left all right.
before they
Real
lost,
quick.
man. And like, come on, bro. There was no way that Denver was coming back from that series, and that Clipper team would have definitely beat the Lakers. That could have been your first championship and started the process of changing you from being the, because I don't even say they're a B team. They're probably like the C or the D team. You feel me? Because they're definitely after the Dodgers. I mean,
I don't know.
might be
I
after
don't
the
think they were.
Kings too.
Man, the Clippers are like
The E
below
team.
LAFC.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, because they're behind the Kings, behind the FC. So yeah,
Man, yeah, Clippers fan must like. You must not like basketball if you're a Clippers fan, because they do not do anything nicely. Look at their show Clipped on FX
I kind of liked it.
compared to Winning Time.
Yeah,
If that don't give you an exact interpretation of how,
I mean, but they got Lawrence Fishburne, though. He low key, he did not sound like Doc at all. Like he could not do Doc's voice.
No, he didn't. That's what I'm saying. Look at how they try to create adaptations of the teams.
I would say, yeah, they should have tapped you to play Blake Griffin.
Nah, I'm playing Blake.
You could have did a better job with Blake, or at least.
Oh man, that was crazy.
Austin, or you could have played Austin at least.
I probably could have played Austin, but he wasn't even on the team at the time. So it's like, bro, the way that team goes about doing shit is just so quirky and corny and odd.
Yeah. Steve Ballmer, look at how he presented himself to meet the team like a cornball. It's like, yeah, we get it. You excited? You threw a bunch of money into the franchise. Respect, but you're corny as shit. Calm it down, my boy.
He tried to take a bit from European basketball with this new stadium that they have opening up, and he made a section just for fans only. I'm like, bro, people don't show up to these games.
Oh yes,
Staples Center.
I wanted to push back a little bit on that, man. Like, you're talking about no fans. Well, what about Marcellus Wiley or Billy Crystal? Like these diehard Clipper fans. Like,
watch, we don't see right now. Clippers attendance rank 2024. Let's see. Wow, the Clippers ranked 20th. Bottom of the barrel. And you have a brand new stadium and you lost one of your stars and you're telling me you're going to be able to fill that shit? You're already 20th in attendance.
Yeah, I don't know what they're going to do. What can they do? Because I feel like the only thing they can do now is trade Kawhi. That's it.
Man. Okay, let me put on my GM hat real quick. Okay, GM hat's on. All right. This is my game plan if I were the Clippers. Hear me out. Personally, I would have went out of my way to sign Klay Thompson. I would have traded James Harden. Okay. Because you need someone like Klay to slow the game down that's all friendly. You need that. Okay. Point guard wise, I don't understand what they're doing. They don't have any significant point guard, right? So what do you want to do in a situation like this? You want to go get somebody young who's willing to play. They have nothing but draft picks. They got nothing but draft picks over the next 3 years. You ain't going to use them. Trade for Maxey.
Damn it. Philly is not letting him go. Philly's not letting him.
You sure Daryl Morey wouldn't let him go for a couple of draft picks?
He is not letting him go, especially not the Clippers. Because
I don't think so. I think he would.
That's there. Because you know why? You know why I know he wouldn't do that? Because one, they didn't know they had PG just yet. Two, he's your best player because fucking Embiid, part of the process is him missing about 30, 40 fucking games.
Well, that's what I'm saying, though. That's why you got to make it worth their while. That same trade value that they traded for Paul George, they should take the future and bet it on Maxey. That's what they should have did. And let go of Harden because you don't need to be paying him like $50 million. He's not worth it. Kawhi needs to go, but what can you get for him? You know what I mean?
let me put my GM hat on. What I would do a little different.
And I go get Jimmy Butler because he's tired of Miami. He don't want to be there no more. Bring him to the
No, it
Clippers.
doesn't. Yeah,
He'll be a
yeah,
dog. He'll be a dog on the Clippers.
I'm trading Kawhi
For what?
for
What value?
someone will take him. His name alone would
The
sell
Bulls would
tickets.
take him. The
What
Bulls
I
would take
said
him.
exactly. His name would
Bulls would
sell
take him.
tickets, and then I
Pistons would take him too.
exactly. I feel like a lot of franchises would take him. Just his name alone would take him. Shit, Toronto would probably pay an arm and leg just to get him back because they're like, yo, maybe we could do it again with him just playing 40 games.
I think he left a sour taste in their mouth. I mean, another big what if is if he never left.
I don't think they were winning it anyway if he didn't leave it again. I thought they were cooked. That was their one season to get it.
Oh, I think they could have ran it back.
You think so?
With that team, they had no significant injuries on the team.
I think they were. Oh, my apologies. I think they were lucky to make it that far, man. A lot of things worked in their way. Like, grant that you can say that for any, championship. Like, obviously, you gotta have a luck, skill, and being healthy. But the fact that the lucky shot beating the Sixers, they shouldn't have beat the Sixers, and then
that wasn't lucky. That was a clean look. That was a clean look on that shot,
bro. You've never seen that shot
Shooter's
bounce around
touch.
like that many
Shooter's
times.
touch.
And I guess shooter's touchdown, only he could do it because he has those massive claws, so only he could shoot that shot.
Nah, his shot is flat as fuck. That really was lucky because he building bricks most of the time the way he shoots.
Right? And
it's like
put some crazy English on it, bounce like 5-8 times. Like, come on, bro. Like
they definitely could have ran it back though, because if you think about it, the only team that really could have been on that level at that time was
Sixers.
Milwaukee. Sixers were you guys like were just getting to where you are now. You were like at that first step.
Who was the Heat on? What was up with the Heat? Were the Heat hurt or something?
The Heat didn't have nobody. They wasn't doing shit. Not that year. Not that
No,
year.
because that was the year Jimmy was still in the Sixers, right?
Yep. You guys had you were in terms of star power, they just had a better vibe. Like Maxey was a rookie that year, I think, or was even in the league that year. I think was Kyle Lowry still your point guard?
Yeah, it's still Kyle Lowry, yeah.
Yeah, see, like they had Van Fleet, they had like a much better idea
Spicy
of what
J
was going on.
But
yeah.
all right. So maybe they might make it out of Eastern Conference, which I really don't think they would have, if the teams were healthy. But then they shouldn't have made it through the finals. I'm sorry, bro.
They had Marcus
Warriors whooped them.
Well, that was injuries, bro. Like they got lucky that Kevin Durant tears his Achilles and Klay Thompson tears his knee. Like
they weren't supposed to win it, bro.
That's the whole team right there, bro. Like that was like what's going on? I don't know. Yeah. That was a lucky championship. Do I think they'll ever win another one? No.
No, exactly.
Not anytime soon, at least.
Say what's his name? 6 guys sold his soul on that one.
Yeah, that was the only one they're getting. I mean, hey, the baseball teams won a championship. The basketball teams won a championship. The hockey team ain't won shit ever. I don't think so. But
really surprising.
Yeah, the Maple Leafs are like cursed right now. That's the word on the street.
It's like, nigga, didn't y'all create hockey? Like, Canada's hockey created in Canada. Y'all got to be the best.
That's what happens. I mean, like the landscape is changing, though. Like interest levels are shifting. Like sports are shifting as well. The way we view sports is shifting. Like, I think the NBA is more for casual fans now. I don't think it's for like actual people who like basketball anymore. It's shifting to a casual league because the players shift teams so much. Where's your loyalty at? Like you like the team or you like the player? Which one is it?
I would say that, and then also they kind of make it harder to consume it because, like, I'm not a big fan of having those X amount of streaming services. Like,
oh, it's all over the place.
Yeah,
ESPN, HBO,
Amazon, Peacock. I'm not a fan of this, bro.
It's all over the place now. You can't pick one singular place to watch it unless you're buying League Pass, which is an arm and a leg. You may as well go to a game at that point.
But you know what? I'm pretty sure certain people are going to start paying for it just for the convenience of knowing, like, hey, at least I know I'm going to have all the games, and I'm not going to have 4 or 5 different applications. And hey, this game's going to be on this channel, this game's going to be on that channel. Like, I don't know, man.
Honestly, that's why I think it's becoming casual shit. Because look, like the players, they're all buddy buddy with each other now. They switch teams every couple of years. You have players who are injured the majority of the season, star players. That's why it's turned into a casual league. Look at the
No,
All-Star game. It's a joke.
no,
You
I
know,
agree.
like we're not
Uh,
seeing a whole lot of difference in the league anymore. It's not gritty anymore. Now it's like, oh, they're friends, so it's okay.
no, I hear you. I feel you on that one, man. It is kind of annoying. Like, for example, I think I've always been low key prepared for that though, because like I've always been a major sports fan, but I've never been like really a fan of a team in basketball. I've always been, more a fan of players. So I guess I was ahead of the curve on this one. But I've always been a diehard football team. I feel like you got to keep your allegiance to your football team.
Yeah, you absolutely have to. They say that says a lot about a person if they change their football team.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
you got to be loyal to something or committed to something. My team, they only went to the Super Bowl once my entire life. So I'm still waiting on the next one, but I know it's coming.
I kind of remember that one. That was McNair and who again?
Lost by a yard.
Cincinnati. Who was y'all playing against? Because that's
The
AFC.
Rams.
It was the Rams.
Yeah,
Oh, that was the
we lost
greatest
by
show
a
on
yard.
turf, Rams, though, huh?
Yeah, we lost by a yard.
I remember.
1 yard.
Greatest show on turf, though. That was actually a really that was an entertaining Super Bowl as well. That I remember.
If it was anybody else, we would have won. Clearly.
I remember now.
But to lose to the greatest offense of all time, I'll take that. To only lose by a yard to the greatest offense of all time, I'll take that.
So with that team, that was obviously McNair, Eddie George, and what was the receiver, like Blaylock or something?
It's Kevin Dyson.
Dyson. There you go. Kevin Dyson. There you go.
There's Bennett.
Bennett, that's the tight end. That's what I was thinking of.
Yeah, Bennett. Drew Bennett. Another great.
They were a squad. That was a squad. I remember that Super Bowl. That was a good one. To be honest with you, I think I was rooting for y'all too. I was
black quarterback, dog.
Exactly.
We only do well when we have a black quarterback. That's why I can't wait till we get another one.
And I don't know what it is, bro. I always hated Marshall Faulk. I don't know what it was, bro. I always hated that. He is. He's mad nice. He's super talented.
His spin move was.
I never liked that guy.
The Milky Way Galaxy. And put anybody in a spin cycle. Yeah, if he played in today's league, if you took that skill level and you put it in today's league, shit. With his ability to catch, because he was a catching running back. He had hands, he can catch. Yeah. He was one of the first ones. If you take his skill level and put it in today's game with how fast it is, the screen plays, the motion, the option plays, bro, he's definitely gonna flourish in today's league in a situation like that.
Who's a modern day comp? I'm gonna say
there isn't CMC. One. No, not even, because CMC can't run up the hole like that. He's a screen pass motion guy. He don't take the handoff up the middle like that. That's not.
So you think Marshall Faulk runs between the tackles more than better than CMC?
Yes.
Really?
Yes. But he's got the same hands, though. That's what I'm saying. Like, he was ahead of his time because that man could catch.
No.
And if he had 3 yards in between, you ain't touching him. You're not touching Marshall Faulk, bro. Good luck. You're not touching him.
Marshall Faulk, the quarterback that they found in Kroger's, or whatever.
Kurt Warner. Yep.
Yeah, whatever.
Good old Kurt. I watched his movie. It was a good movie. Underdog. It was a good movie.
That's it.
Nice, Kurt. Bro, he was playing in the Arena Football League too. That man, he could play. He could play. He was one of those early, like, if there was a YouTube and someone could go viral, the way he was playing would have went viral.
Right. I never seen.
He would have got a contract like easy.
What league again was this? This Canadian Football League, right?
The Arena Football League. If you're not familiar with it, it was the AFL at the time.
No, I can't remember. I had one of my partners used to play for San Jose. I think it was like the San Jose Sabres or something. I think it was,
I don't know what San Jose's team was.
I think they were Sabre Cats. Yeah, they were Sabre Cats.
Sabre Cats, yeah. Kurt Warner played for the Iowa Barnstormers.
Yeah, well, that's a name kind of dope, though. Barnstormers.
I don't know. It's one of those Midwestern things. They come up with all these names that no one else understands besides them. It's kind of
Speaking
crazy when you think about it.
speaking of secondary leagues, what did you think of the UFL XFL merger?
Shit, I didn't watch one game, bro.
Are you serious? No?
I didn't watch one game just because, in general, there's baseball, and then like it's just not that interesting to me. I don't know why. I'm just like not.
Really?
It's kind of cool. Like, you know, the NFL is clearly biting by changing the kickoff to their style kickoff as well. But I would like to see more of an organizational route from that league to the NFL. Like, that's gradually what's going to happen next, because that's what's happened throughout all of our leagues, that the lower league eventually becomes a direct feeder to the higher league, which would make more sense because you could increase the talent pool and then also have a direct pipeline to the NFL.
Yeah, I mean, it's
More
already
players could
happening.
get drafted, more playing time, which makes everybody better, more training time, which makes everybody better. Offenses can evolve way quicker this way. Defenses can evolve way quicker this way as well. So that's why I'll be a fan when there's a direct pipeline, because then you'll see the growth of players way easier.
Well, you're about to. That's kind of part of why I led into this and brought this up, because Cowboys, they drafted like I think 3 or 4 different players from the UFL this season. So they took like their 3 best players.
Well, I want to see like instead of cutting dudes and releasing them, oh, he was designated to go play in the UFL.
Well, remember Turbin?
You
That's
know,
also
like
where
I'd
they
rather
found,
see that.
that's also where they found Turbin. You know, their punt returner. They also got him from the UFL. The year
Yeah,
prior.
that's what I'm like. I'd much rather see like this is a direct affiliate with the Cowboys. This is their secondary team. Every sporting team around the world, for the most part, has different
Like a
levels
farm
to their
club.
organization.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you are right. They
There's-
really don't NFL.
The NFL doesn't do that, and they're wasting so much talent.
Yeah, kind of like because like the practice squad should be a farm club.
The practice squad only practices. How are they supposed to get better? They only practice. They're just there to practice.
Nah, I get it. That's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, practice team, but the practice team, it's only like 8 players on the practice squad though, right? Isn't there only like 8 spots? Or something? No, it's not a lot. I think it's like 8 spots on the practice squad. Let's see.
Yeah, practice squad players. That's what I'm telling you, man. Like, they're good enough to play in the UFL. And there needs to be what should happen is the UFL should play the Canadian League. That's what should happen. Because the only difference is the size of the field.
16 players. But yeah, no, I get it. No, that's great exposure.
That's what I'm saying. There needs to be more cross-functional collaboration with these leagues if they want to increase their overall like reach. That's what's happening with soccer or football. They're creating these tournaments where teams are just playing each other like all the time from different countries, different cities. Like it makes it more fun, but also you're opening the eyes of other people in other places to other teams, and you're connecting them. With what they're doing with like these international games, that doesn't solve the problem that they have internationally.
Mm-hmm. Of course, internationally by default, everyone's going to tune in just due to patriotism. You know, everyone wants to root for their own team. You know, like or their own country of origin. You're going to always, root for them. But I see what you're saying though. It definitely helps. The more eyes, the better. Like for example, something I was thinking of was like another thing. we might get demonetized on this one. The WNBA, man. And I think it was you.
Yeah.
Was it you talking about it? Like sex sells. And the
does.
players are a little more attractive nowadays. So that's the real reason we have more eyes on it.
It's definitely possibly a key contributing factor, because you want it to be family friendly, right? That's essentially like the whole point of all these sports leagues is to be family friendly.
Yeah.
Like even with NBA players, like certain players aren't put on infographics. Certain highlights aren't shown of certain players because of how they look, tattoos, etc., whatever it may be. But there's just things they don't want them to see. Like, for instance, like Grady Dick. His last name's Dick. They do not like saying his name on air. They do not let him do jersey swaps anymore after his last fiasco.
I saw that.
That's what I'm saying. See, it's 100% family friendly, and that's what they want to keep it.
Yeah,
that's the majority of like what's happening. Like, are the players more family friendly? From a national perspective, yeah, they are.
So if I understand you correctly, what you're saying is, if you have more baddies on the team, that will get more perverted uncles and dads and seats in the WNBA, which is genius because when it comes to sports, mostly men are paying for it.
It could be. I mean, shit, I ain't been to a WNBA game in like 25 years, so I don't know. I don't know. It's been a long time, so I don't know. I just know, like, it's a league that's up and coming still, and you got to kind of look at like how it's being played in Europe, because that's where the women go when their season ends. They go play in Europe. And that's why Brittany Griner got, caught up in her situation. She was going to go play for her club in Russia, know. Same thing. Candace Parker used to play in Russia too. So, they're going and playing these other places, and they're having somewhat of a good experience because they're going to go play there. It's not just the money. Like, you're going to the other side of the world. There must be other reasons why you're going there.
Has there been any blowback ever since the Brittany Griner incident? Like, has there been a slowdown of American talent going abroad to play, or?
Ain't nobody going to go play in Russia right now. No. Nobody's going to go play there. Not yet, at least. Once things, transpire, they cool off, then we can.
Blow over, yeah.
Because they're making money, we're making money. Everybody likes to make money, right? So that's kind of what's happening with that. But yeah, I think.
Why do you think the European market is more into like female sports?
Well, because they've been doing it for a lot longer. Like every men's football team has a women's team attached to them in every major league. At least at the top level. It might differ depending on the levels below that, but they all have like a women's team that's attached to them.
Okay.
So you would have like a Boston Celtics, and then you would have like a Lakers, like a women's team and a men's team, and then they would both play, and they'd wear the same jerseys too. So it's like it's a much more normal thing there because they've been doing it for a lot longer than we have.
Equality.
Well, I mean, you got to think about it. Their cities are smaller. There's less things to do. So from an entertainment value, you're gonna go watch, or you're just gonna sit at home and just not do shit. Like, you're gonna go watch because there's something to do. It's still the same team. It's still it's your men's team. It's just the women's team playing. So that's where the sense of pride comes in, because they're directly connected to the men's teams.
Roger.
So that's the difference. We have such a segmented way of like looking at the way our teams play. It's a different league. They have to have a different identity. I guarantee you, if they had a Los Angeles Lady Lakers,
Lady Lakers,
I think people. What happens in college? They don't have different team names.
Oh, you're right.
Men and women play under the same banner.
No,
if you did that for the WNBA and the NBA, I think you would have a little bit more success. You wouldn't have to rebrand as much. Just saying. Who's listening out there?
I think you might be onto something, my boy.
Well, it works. That's the whole point. It's a system that works. We haven't tapped into it yet because we're trying to like create these whole new things, and it's like people don't do that. There's no need to do that. You want to save money? That's how you save money. Courts are the same colors. Jerseys are the same colors.
Yeah, you just gotta
merchandise is the same colors.
Add a few more lines. That's pretty much it.
That's it.
Add a few more lines.
That's what I'm saying, bro. That's what I'm saying, though. But America, we behind on sports. We ain't leading in nothing. We behind, if you ask me, in a lot of it.
We really aren't, bro. We really don't lead in anything anymore besides pop culture.
Well, we gonna see when this medal count starts today.
We sell a dream. We gonna
see. The Olympics, we'll see. Because last time the gap got a lot smaller in Tokyo, and it since 2008, that gap has gotten smaller in London.
Who was like, what, say second or third? Like, I'm assuming like Russia and China.
China's second, not by a whole lot. They was not by a whole lot. Russia was up there. They ain't playing with us no more. They catching up. Yeah. We ain't number one in a lot of things no more.
Changing of the guard.
Well, it's the world is just catching up, bro.
Like, so what is it? Do you think it's due to society, due to the fact that I would say most American youth is no longer into like athletic sports and the outdoors?
Yeah, it's a social concept. Yeah.
And so Europeans are focusing more on these things due to pride or the lack of options?
Well, believe it or not, Europeans have been tribal for a long time, man. Because the same people have lived in the same places for a lot longer there than they have here.
Mm-hmm.
So they have much more of an identity to help each other out than we do.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, Europe is still a melting pot, but at the same time, everybody helps each other. That's the way their governments are set up. That's the way they interact with each other. They're much more social in the sense of, on average in Europe, you'll go out 5-6 days a week and you won't feel like it's hindering you. In America, you try to do that with your friends, you're like, oh my God, I'm overstimulated. I don't want to do this. But that's because it's how they're doing it. It's the things they're doing. It's how they're living. It's a completely different society. And that's why they're catching up in sports, because they can come here, on an exchange program, see what's going on, or pick up a coach from here, take the coach back with them. Your competition and your talent pool is way smaller out there. It's just numbers.
This just sounds like a really bad social construct, man, and further proves that America is a system. It's a corporation, man.
It's a system. America is a corporation, bro.
It's a machine, dude.
We're trying to spit these kids out as quickly as we can, and that's the game plan. But look, man, like these kids are coming out undeveloped. No sense of business. No sense of how to handle. Everybody is broke in all major sports within 3 years. Broke. Say the majority of them. Not all of them. I say the majority are broke.
Nah. And that's something actually I wanted to talk about earlier. Remember we brought up Blake Bortles. We kind of got off topic.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I got off my topic, but
he owns a construction company. I saw that.
Who, Blake Bortles?
Yeah.
Smart man.
He works with his construction company. That's what he does.
He invested that $20 million and opened up a construction company. Good for him.
Yeah, I think he's a developer. I think that's the better word to put it. But yeah, like something around that. That's what he does now.
But what I was getting at, something kind of aligned with what you're just saying about people going broke within like 3 to 4 years. One, we already know that professional athletes, tenure is not long. I think the average is five seasons, I believe, something like that, if not less. But with that being said, now with NILs, do you think that's going to extend your career in sports? Because like I'm thinking it might be the complete opposite. I'm thinking, me personally, if I'm not a first round pick, which your first round pick is probably going to get what, like 10 mil or something like that. But
it's around that now, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. About around 10 mil. Or I could just stay in college and, depending on what type of player I am, get NILs for like 4 or 6 mil, work a lot less harder and have way more freedoms, just do that for 4 years. And at that, I might not even want to do the NFL. I might not even want to become a professional at that point anymore.
Well, we just saw that situation unfold with Caleb Williams. That's exactly what his two options were. Stay in college and make more money, or go to possibly a situation I don't want to be in.
Yeah.
He looks like he's screaming for fucking help with all that smiling and shit he's doing. That's like the nervous smile. That's the
yeah. What I'm doing.
That's the Eddie Murphy smile. Yeah, no. He's screaming for fucking help, bro. Screaming for help. He don't want to be there. He don't want to be in Chicago. Come from LA to go to Chicago. That's no. Nope.
I feel like that's been the real main topic of the day. Nobody wants to go to Chicago.
Well, I mean, what is there, right? Like, you have cold
No,
weather
I
or
love
hot weather?
Chicago. It's actually my favorite city. That's the funny thing. I just don't want to live there, but it is my favorite city to visit.
No, I mean, bro, don't nobody really want to live in Chicago. I mean, like the teams don't even. All the teams want to. How Sway? How are the Chicago Cubs still in the same stadium since their inception?
They never switched stadiums. Wrigley
No,
Fields is the
they've been
stadium they've
in
been in their entire
Wrigley.
time.
They've been
Since
in
like the
Wrigley.
1920s, I think.
They've been in Wrigley 100 years, dog.
Jesus.
And you're telling me that a team like the White Sox needs their fourth stadium, and that the Bears need their third stadium?
Soldier Stadium's not their first? Oh, I thought that was their first
No, they've
stadium.
only ever played in Soldier Stadium, but they completely tore it down and built this one inside of the perimeter of
Renovated.
the old
Okay.
one. Yeah.
All right, cool.
And they're going to tear this one down and do the same fucking thing. It's like, how do the Cubs not need a new stadium and it's 100 years old, but the White Sox need a new stadium? That's only 25?
Quality over quantity. No, I'm just
I
kidding.
don't get it. The White Sox won a World Series more recently than the Cubs, too. Before this last one, the White Sox won in 05. Like, I don't understand these teams no more, dog. It's crazy. Like, they just
different necessities, I guess. I mean,
that's Chicago, though, for you. That's how it is. The Cubs are cool with the same old ass stadium, but these other two teams need a new stadium. That's crazy, bro. That's crazy.
Also, you gotta keep in mind, man, Chicago is one of the most corrupt cities there is in the country. You know,
that's why it's the Windy City.
Exactly. The mob still has influence over that place. So, I mean,
that's why it's the Windy City, because they be blowing smoke, bro. It's the Windy City.
But hey, man, we're coming up on an hour and 41 minutes. We should probably wrap up pretty soon.
Well, I mean, that's a good start to, you know, what's been going on in the sphere of sports for the past, you know, I would say that caught us up to this point in the year right now, everything that's happened. Like, next time we could talk about some other stuff that's like more controversial too. But yeah, I think we went through a lot of good stuff today, and we definitely got a good bearing on what's going on and how we want to move forward. So yeah.